Alright class, and welcome to my wood lathe safety inspection video. And by the end of this video I'll be following this checklist and making sure that you have each of the steps that I've pointed out here. Make sure that you've done each one. So the first thing in this preparing a spindle for turning safety video is to find a spindle. It's supposed to be approximately 12 inches long, and it doesn't really matter the size of it as long as it's close to square. And that means this measurement and this measurement are both the same. So the first thing you do is you find the center with the combination square. You make a 45-degree line, or corner to corner, like that. Do the same thing on the other side. After you've found the center and marked that out, grab the handsaw, and you want to cut in on these lines about an 1/8 inch. So you find the vise on the workbench, clamp that in place. Alright, just use a handsaw. So once you've cut these lines in there with the handsaw, about an 1/8 inch deep, you want to flip the piece over, and on the other end, using an 1/8 inch bit in your drill or a center punch, just find the center of it, just give it a little tap and that will mark the center. Alright, once you've cut the lines on your spindle and mark the other end for the center, make sure you go over to your checklist to the wood lathe and see what step you have to do next. So on this checklist, insert the spur center into the headstock. And just make sure it's in there. Got the spur center on the headstock, and we have the live center on the tailstock. Now we want to grab your spindle, and on the end that has just the center marked, or with the center punch, that goes towards the live center, and the ones with the lines cut into it, that goes to your spur center. So just want to make sure that those 4 spurs, they catch those four marks or 4 cuts that you've made. And then you want to slide your tailstock over, make sure the live center hits the center mark that you made. And using this lever in the back, tighten down your tailstock, and then turn tailstock a couple times, tighten that down. And you want to check to make sure that it is moving freely, but that there isn't any movement side to side. Everything's fine. So after you set up your spindle, the next step is to move over to your speed. So you want to check your pulley ratio. Right now it's on the smallest one, or the number 4. So you want to check down here is your speed settings. So right now we're number 4. We want to be set at around 1800 for the roughing. So if you look at the switch here, so we're set at number 6, that's fine. So 6 here is 1800. The next step would be to move your tool rest over. So you want your tool rest sitting close to your spindle, but not touching it, so a little closer. You want about a 1/4 inch gap between your spindle and your tool rest. So using the lever, tighten that down. And the tool rest should also sit about 1/4 inch below center. Tighten that down. And because we're only roughing the spindle today, you want to make sure that you select the correct tool. So that would be a spindle roughing gouge. Once you got that done, make sure that you pull down your safety shields and that you put on a face shield. Now the last step in this wood lathe safety video is I go back and I double check to make sure that everything is checked off on this checklist. Now that I can see that I've done everything on this checklist, it's your turn.